What is up, everybody, and welcome to the Financial Wolf channel. So in today's video, we are going to be discussing how I got scammed on eBay out of $849.95. So how I got scammed out of $849.95 is kind of a long story, but to get started, I'm just going to say I bought an iPhone XS Max 64GB AT&T bad ESN for $600 from my private seller, and I ended up selling it for $849.95. Keep in mind, this phone was sealed and in perfect condition. I had worked with this private seller in the past, so I know what they sell is quality, and I didn't have to worry about them selling me a broken phone or a fake iPhone. After selling the iPhone XS Max on eBay, I shipped it immediately to the buyer, and right away when they received the phone, they sent a message and filed a return saying that the phone was completely broken, it didn't power on, they've tried to charge it for the last 3 hours. They mentioned that they bought the phone for their wife and they were extremely disappointed that the phone did not work. So I was kind of curious as to why an iPhone XS Max, brand new in the box, from a seller that I've bought from in the past doesn't work. So I decided to look up the address of the person that filed the return. And I found out that this person had a freight forwarding company address, and that is when I didn't accept the return. I called eBay right away and let them know what was going on. Right when I saw that this was a freight forwarding company that filed the return, I called eBay right away. I didn't want to take any chances because I was almost scammed a couple months back with an iPhone 8 Plus, and it was pretty much the same scam, except at the end it got a little bit different. It got a little bit more complicated with this scam than it was with the last one. The last scam I had was a little bit easier to solve. This one I actually ended up losing the money. So when I called eBay, I told them, hey, I got a return from a buyer. I saw that I checked the address and it said it was a freight forwarding company. That is against eBay's policy, so I was wondering if you guys could just close the return for me as I can see that it is a freight forwarding company. And they kind of understood, they verified what I said, they saw it was a freight forwarding company, and they told me to call back, in 7 days, or I think it was 7 days, because they can't step in until that time. They just said, don't accept the return, call back in like 7 days, and we can close it for you. And that is when it got very complicated and confusing. It just didn't work out in my favor. When I called them back 7 days later, they still couldn't close the return. They said call back 2 days later, because then eBay can really step in and close this return case. I was kind of confused. It's like, you told me to call back on the 27th. Now you're telling me to call back on the 29th. And I was a little bit confused, but I didn't really want to argue with them because I like to be very nice to the customer service people, because when you're nice to them, they usually give you what you want. So when I called back on the 29th, they let me know that they were going to go ahead and accept the return. And I was extremely mad, but I wasn't mad at the customer service people because I couldn't really do anything about it, right? It's no point in arguing with them and being too super rude to them because they can't do anything about it. So I was trying to remain calm. I was like, all right, yeah, I'm probably going to get a box of Oreos back or, an iPhone 2. So I was like, just be prepared for me to, file some sort of counter, because it has happened to me in the past with freight forwarding companies, and I know how these scams work. So I just let them know about that, and they were like, okay, totally fine. If something happens, just go ahead and notify eBay, and we will be able to step in and help you. So this did not work out that way. Long story short, November 30th, the phone said it was delivered. I didn't get a box or anything like that, and I know the post office didn't lose the package because somebody had signed for it, and a name that wasn't mine had signed for it. It couldn't tell me the exact address the phone was shipped for because USPS doesn't provide that information. They only give you the city, the state, the zip code. The address the phone was shipped to had the same city, state, and zip code, and the eBay customer service people said they printed out the label from eBay. So the only way I can think this person scammed me is they printed out the label from eBay, put a box of Oreos or an iPhone 2 in a package, whited out the name and address, wrote some random person that they found on white pages that lives in the same city and state as me, shipped it to them, and then when that person got it, they were like, what the heck is this? And they probably threw it away, and they didn't think anything of it. So that person received it, they threw it away, and then I got scammed because it said it was delivered to my city and zip code. I lost $849.95 on this scam, which is very, very, very frustrating it takes me weeks to get that money back. I lost it, it's gone forever, and all I can do is move on. So now that you guys are aware of this eBay scam, how exactly I lost $849.95 as a seller with a fraudulent return, you guys probably have two questions. One, as an eBay seller, how do I avoid this scam? I sell on eBay all the time. How do I avoid getting scammed like you did, Will? And the second question you have probably is more for me. Like, what do you do, like, now? Like, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna continue selling on eBay? How are you going to avoid this scam in the future? And the answer to both of those questions is the only way to avoid the scam is to not sell on eBay. It's part of the game. Like, it happens. I don't know what I'm gonna do in the future. I'm probably going to be taking a little bit of a break selling on both eBay and on Mercari. I'm going to switch to local sales for a little bit because I haven't really experienced it. Mercari is still a very good platform. I just want to try local sales. So for those of you guys that want to sell online, but you're afraid of getting scammed, sell on Mercari. A great thing about selling locally is I get to avoid fees 100%. The only downside is I'm going to be moving inventory a lot slower, which means my sales figures will probably go down in the next couple of months, and I really am willing to accept that. Like, my capital is a little bit larger that I can hold a little bit more inventory, but I just have to accept I'm going to be moving it slower, but my profit margin is going to go up substantially. I get to avoid 13% of eBay fees, and I get to avoid it completely. I don't have to worry about it, and I can just sell locally. I can buy it for $50 and sell it for $100, and that is pure profit. I don't have to pay anything to anyone. Okay, guys, with that all being said, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you guys got a lot of value out of it. Just to let you know, again, I will be taking a break from eBay. I'll be switching to local sales temporarily. I'm just going to see how it goes for me. I've never really experienced it. And also, guys, I hope I've warned some of you that are getting started or are selling on eBay that you might be scammed in the future and that this scam is serious. Like, it's very hard to avoid it. It might happen to you in the future. I haven't heard of people getting scammed a lot by this on eBay, but it's just something that you should be aware of. I will keep you updated, guys, on my experience with local sales. A lot of content coming this week, vlog coming Wednesday, live stream coming Thursday, so stay tuned for all of these pieces of content. Please be sure to drop a like and also subscribe to the Financial Wolf YouTube channel to be in the first 500 subscribers.